Hello everyone, Anexis here. Happy Monday. Welcome to Blind Woman Reviews. And today I'm reviewing A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin, which is the second book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, which so far has 5 books. So, this is the second book. If you have not seen my first review, I'll link it below. And if you're interested in this book or the first in general, I will have affiliate links in the description. If you make a purchase, I will make a small commission. So thank you in advance for your support, and let us begin by reading the Goodreads synopsis. In this eagerly awaited sequel to A Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin has created a work of unsurpassed vision, power, and imagination. A Clash of Kings transports us to a world of revelry and revenge, wizardry and warfare unlike any you have ever experienced. A comet the color of blood and flame cuts across the sky, and from the ancient citadel of Dragonstone to the forbidding shores of Winterfell, chaos reigns. 6 factions struggle for control of a divided land and the Iron Throne of the 7 Kingdoms, preparing to stake their claims through tempest, turmoil, and war. It is a tale in which brother plots against brother, and the dead rise to walk at night. Here, a princess masquerades as an orphan boy. A knight of the mind prepares a poison for a treacherous sorceress, and wild men descend from the mountains of the moon to ravage the countryside. Against a backdrop of incest and fratricide, alchemy and murder, victory may go to the men and women possessed of the coldest steel and the coldest hearts. For when kings clash, the whole land trembles. Audacious, inventive, brilliantly imagined, A Clash of Kings is a novel of dazzling beauty and boundless enchantment, a tale of pure excitement you will never forget. I don't think I'm likely to forget this book. I think the end of the description is right, but I don't think I'm likely to forget it because it was a really long book to get through. I've been reading this book since February, maybe? Yeah, it was definitely February. I've been reading this book since February, and it's May. I've been reading for about 3 months. This book is exactly, at least the edition I read, it's exactly 1,010 pages long. And the books only continue to get longer because I am currently reading A Storm of Swords, and it is 1,179 pages. So, yeah. Although I don't think it'll take me as long to finish this one, because what I'm doing right now to read is some advice I found on YouTube from a YouTuber, Daniel Green. If you're interested in his channel, I'll link it below, where he says to diversify reading formats. So what he does is, he'll have editions, I guess. He can read different editions like ebook, audiobook, and physical, basically. In my case, just audiobook and braille, and audiobook and physical / ebook. And physical and ebook are kind of stuck together, so physical. So that's what I'm doing, and I read today, and I'm on page 189 of that book. Anyway, that's not the important part, but basically, I don't think I'll forget it just because of how long it was. It was very long. The same issues, I have the same issue in this book that I have in A Game of Thrones, and that is that George R.R. Martin is a great writer, and that's not an issue. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but he's a great writer, and he writes these awesome scenes, and he builds up everything so perfectly, but he does not let us grieve. And he does not, I don't think he is very good at describing emotions of characters. Not well enough, anyway. I think that he does not give us enough time to process the emotions of the characters we're following. And I mean, I think in this book it could make sense just because we're following so many characters. We have so many different point of views, and as it's so far, it seems that as the books get longer, more point of views are added, and that's okay. But even if we're gonna get such a large cast of characters, I still think there should be some emotion placed, and there is emotion. These characters are very well realized. They are very well developed, even the women, which I'm happy about because I've read some books, mainly one in particular, written by a male author, and the main woman of that, of the main character was a woman, and I found myself cringing. At least when I read these things here, these books here from George R.R. Martin, I don't find myself cringing when I read a woman's point of view, except when I read Catelyn's point of view. But the thing is that Catelyn is kind of a hypocritical bitch, in my opinion. So when reading about Catelyn, it's like she's a bit of a nightmare. In my opinion, she can be a bit of a hypocritical bitch, or just a bitch. So that's the whole point. Catelyn's point of view annoys me as a character because she can't, without spoiling any part of the books, she does not take any responsibility for any of her actions. Nothing. She takes no responsibility for any of her actions. She keeps excusing her actions by saying that she does what she does for her children. And I mean, she does some good things for her children, like what she did for Bran in the first book. But she doesn't take responsibility for them. She doesn't apologize. And she's an adult. And I just find myself wanting to slap her because she is really annoying with that. So that's why I kind of find her being a hypocritical and at times hateful bitch. And I don't understand how characters are loyal to her. It's hard to I'll give her credit for the things that she can do, but I just find myself kind of annoyed with her at times. I do like the fact that this book is very long. I don't mind reading long books. I don't mind reading short books. So even though it took me a while to get through this book, not to mention the fact that I was busy, I did actually really enjoy reading this extremely long book. I was perfectly okay with it. I have very few issues reading long books. Not to mention it was well written, and the world is just as bleak. It's like just as bleak as it was in a Game of Thrones, if not bleaker. Oh yes, you heard me right. Much bleaker at times. It just gets really depressing. This world is super depressing. So if you're not interested in super depressing worlds, maybe pass on A Song of Ice and Fire, because this is highly depressing. So this can be very depressing. There can be there are a lot of I guess a good content warning for a Clash of Kings and anywhere in A Song of Ice and Fire. There is usually, it's not shown, but there is at least implication of rape, and there is also at least definitely in this book, there is a lot of physical abuse, especially in the beginning. So those are some of the content warnings I noticed, not to mention all the violence and all that stuff. So yeah, just be aware when you read when you read a Clash of Kings and even a Game of Thrones. Just be aware when you read if you plan to read those, to just do some research on the content warnings. These are the ones I noticed. So yeah, it's a great book, but I did have to give it 4 stars because I feel like no matter how many characters you have, the reader should be able to feel emotions through these characters. And you do to a point, but like when there is a super emotional moment like a death, we don't have time to grieve. It just moves on to the next thing. And I'm just like, I want to be able to grieve with my characters, you know? But I don't get the chance to do that here. So that's the reason I give it 4 stars. If not, it would be a 5-star book. The world building is rich, it's well written, and we follow a large cast of characters, which, for the most part, I happen to really like. My favorite is actually Daenerys. She is my favorite character to follow. Her, like everyone else's, her story is loosely connected to everyone else's story, or to the main story. The main plot is in Seven Kingdoms. Her story is loosely connected to that. So everyone's story is kind of like loosely connected, and we kind of get to see that, and that's wonderful. It's great. And these point of views are interesting, so it's fun to read. You know, it's great to read, but yeah, I would want to feel more emotion. So if you have read this book, let me know your thoughts in the comments section, as well as any questions or video requests. If you're gonna do spoilers, put in the comments that you're doing spoilers so that people are aware. If you want this book, as well as a Game of Thrones, affiliate links will be in the description. If you make a purchase, I will make a small commission. Thank you in advance for your support. And if you find this entertaining, enjoyable, or so on, like, subscribe, and share. And with that, I'll see you in my next video. My next review will be, and should be, because by the time this is posted, I actually should be done with it. With the book, it should be Meet Cute Diary by Emery Lee. So I look forward to reading this with you, to reviewing this for you, because I'm actually enjoying the book so far. So I look forward to letting you see my review on that. So yeah, I will see you in my next video, and have a great rest of your week, everyone. Bye!